We are live.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Welcome to session 1 of our Sea Dogs GURPS campaign. I am Gigermann, today's GM. God help us all.
So say
Wouldn't
we
you
all.
be this like the game's GM, not necessarily just today's GM?
Nah,
The GM, somebody else could run.
theoretically, you could go, all right, Daniel, that sucked. I'm going to take over from here on out. Which would be a dick move, but it'd be funny.
How would you respond to that, Daniel? I'm like,
I don't
Okay.
know how I would respond to that.
Yeah,
I
you're making
know.
a mess of this. Get out of the way.
Hold on, let me steer. Bunch of backseat drivers around here.
Okay. Do we have any business to take care of that you know of?
I need to spend the 500 points I gained off screen.
You'll have to gain them first.
No, I already gained them.
One piece of business, I have the Age of Sail Hexbase folder in the tokens. That has all my Age of Sail related tokens in it, so you can pick one. But if you need something specific, then we'll work it out later. I just didn't know quite how to share those.
Did we have tokens for our characters? I don't recall.
yet. Only Randall has one at this point.
Someone dropped the ball on that, Daniel.
No,
Mark.
I just gave you all the tokens.
Mark dropped the ball. That's the ticket.
That's right. Mark's been doing the tokens of late.
Mark was never passed the ball. No, there's
Doesn't matter, you
there's a
still dropped
set-
it.
Well,
Oh, I drop the ball all the time. Especially when I don't know the ball's being thrown to me. Then I just get beamed by it. Like right now.
there is one set in there that I included. It's a very, very pretty set, but
I
they're
only
all
see like 6 tokens. Is that all I'm supposed to see?
no. That's interesting and very unhelpful.
I see a lot more than 6. I think it's probably
Wonder
just
why I only
loading.
see 6.
Well, we've had that situation pop up from time to time where it won't load them all. I don't think we ever quite figured out what the deal was.
I think maybe if you start sharing a few, then it reloads. I think that's how we did it last time.
Let's see. I see 18, 19,
you had that-
21, 25, 28, and 30. Those are the ones that show up for me.
Yeah,
Those are
that's
the
probably-
only ones.
Those are the only ones that show up for me. Yes, sir.
See everything
Well,
from
that's-
13 onward.
We're all over the place.
I honestly don't know what to do.
I think the last time we just created a blank sheet map and just started throwing all the tokens on there. And then everyone
there's
started
probably
seeing-
100
Tons
of
of
them.
tokens.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
don't do
I
that.
see a lot.
I see a whole bunch. I see a
Wonder
whole
why
lot.
I don't.
I mean, mine starts at human
When did
13.
here's a question. When did you drop those in there, Daniel?
They've been there since last night, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try something.
It starts at human 13 down to human.
I'm gonna try something.
I got human 35 and then another set. Yeah, there's a bunch. While we're sorting that out, make sure you got your equipment settled. Who are we missing? Somebody's not in.
Ash.
No, not her. There are only 4.
That,
Okay.
like I said, I
Oh,
was
you
going to
just
try something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, my name is
My brain will
Brack.
catch up.
I'm going to use Musket 06.
What the hell?
Yeah, the musket series in there are the really pretty ones.
Yeah, those are cool.
I wish I had more of them.
Okay. That was possibly a mistake. Guess
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
didn't put boom in there.
Ah, now I see a whole bunch of them. I cleared my cache. Thing
Okay.
and the player cache, I guess it was.
So noted.
I think I might go with the red coat 1 because the gun is really big.
Yeah, but you're not a red coat.
He borrowed
not,
a red
but-
coat.
Pains is in the CDOS PCs folder.
Yep,
should be.
I got it.
So what you could probably do there, Ethan, is say you're going to temporarily use that and have somebody fix it for you. Wow, those musket ones are really pretty.
All right.
I'm going to have to use one of those, and I'm not even a musket guy. Which
I'm
one did
curious.
you say you were using, Carrie?
I took Musket 06.
Dang, you beat me to it. Good choice. Good choice. I think I may just take 7 then.
I'm curious how they're going to work on a map, since a lot of them have, swords and stuff that hang way off the center of the hex.
Those tokens use a much larger area than the actual hex itself.
You
Okay.
can also just not use
Because
Snap
of
to Grid.
that.
Well, it's not the snap to grid; it's the rotate. So if you rotate, it'll rotate around a strange point and stuff.
No, these I've had to start doing that from the very beginning when I started using the Devon Knight stuff, because his stuff would go all over the place. So they will center.
So the ones that you use of his, you've resized so that they're centered
Mhm.
correctly. Gotcha.
All right, equipment though. So anybody not bought their equipment, and we're talking about the navigation stuff for Rogers. Right now, the best I can figure is, other than the basic equipment that the ship would include, you could potentially have your own quadrant, but that is considered basic equipment for astrological navigation. So there's no reason you can't get that as higher quality, like fine. I don't remember what the general equipment
Or good.
price increase
You mean
is
good.
on that. Is it? No, good is normal. I think.
No,
And the
good
chronometers?
is regular. Good is not normal. Normal is normal.
What?
I believe you are mistaken. Until I settle that myself.
Surgical equipment 300. I have good quality.
Damn it, I can never remember what page that's on.
I'm opening it up now. Basic 345. Because I have the ×5 quality, which according to GCA is good. This is equipment, not weapons.
What was the page?
345.
45.
Yeah, because I know weapons are like fine and all that stuff, but I think non-attack
Okay.
stuff is good.
Basic is basic.
Yeah, basic is basic. Good is ×5 for a +1
Yeah.
bonus.
I think you're right. I think I was thinking of weapons.
Which is why I have surgical instruments that are worth 1,500 GURPSes.
Well, there you go.
Which sadly leaves me with a whopping 100 remaining to my name.
So, since
And what would the step down from that cost, Phil?
That'd be whatever the basic is.
Oh, I thought you had a specific figure for the higher.
Well, I just went to equipment and I selected the surgical instruments, and according to GCA, basic 289, that is 300 normally. And since I went, I'm like, yeah, that's well and good, but I remember all of the gobbledygook I have to apply for surgery, so I'm gonna, it would be A, unfortunate, and B, interesting to have another PC die during surgery.
True.
I have added quadrant to the items.
Ah, thank you.
That is the basic quality.
All right, and does it cover chronometers too for this time period?
No, that's just the quadrant. If you need the chronometer... crap, what page is that? Not the compass.
Although it needed compass too. You said that was 25 though, I remember that.
Well, you'd have the ship's compass.
Rogers has his own, and his own chronometer and a backup chronometer in his trunk.
It's like
I
he's
was just
been
trying to.
burned in the past, and like you can never have too many.
The only thing is it won't work on the ship. It won't be accurate.
It will, it just won't be accurate. It has to be
Swung.
shielded from the metal stuff on the ship.
It's called swung.
Ah, okay.
I did not know that. I have learned something today.
There you go, already.
All right, see you guys next week then, since I've learned my thing.
Guess we don't have an actual pocket watch in low tech.
No, it'd be like in a wooden case kind of thing. Basically. It's
No, they have pocket
clock.
watches.
Really? Okay. Well,
They're
his
just
would
not
be
very accurate.
Yeah, I was about to say his would be the nautical kind though.
Do you have spyglass in the equipment?
No, I do not.
If anybody has a spyglass, it should be Rogers.
Yeah, the ship should have one too though.
Yeah, but you were a spy.
Hayden has a telescope, but I don't think that's the same as a spyglass.
I'm not sure.
Well, To save time, I think they would be expensive for a high quality one. So I propose just 500 for the full set of instruments. Or 1,000 if you prefer.
Well, my surgical instruments are 1,500.
Yeah, but that's different. You have a ton of them. You got all kinds of drills
Probably
and
not.
saws and knives, and I've got like 5 things.
Drills and saws.
Okay, well, there is a spyglass in low tech, for the record. Wow, 4 pounds.
Weight noted.
There we go. So we got clock.
Ouch. I just threw in all of the stuff for, hey, I'm going to do head and chest surgery. My patient is at -4 times hit points because he's really badly messed up. And I've got my surgery equipment, and that's -10.
Doing great.
Doing
Okay.
awesome.
Looks like the I presume that's what this means. So pocket watches, or yeah, pocket watch is going to be 100. Negligible weight.
It's literally going to be 100 GURPSes for a pocket watch. All right, I am now completely broke, but I got a pocket watch.
I'm gonna
low tech.
I'm gonna call it double that. I'm gonna call it double that for an accurate nautical chronometer rather than a pocket
Well,
watch.
it's not going to be. It could be a better quality, but it's not going to be that. It's still not going to be that accurate.
Well, it'll be more accurate though. And
Maybe.
that's why you have 2. You run them against each other and figure out which one is.
No, you'll get the good quality, which is 5x, is it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So yeah, it is 1,000 then for those 2.
There you go.
So I have my instruments and I'm broke.
That's about right.
Me too. We're all like, all right, let's. We should like get on our boat and get the hell out of here.
So I went ahead and added stuff like the powder horn and bandoliers and that sort of thing to the items. So if it comes down to it and you're able to buy one, you can just grab it out of the items.
Nice, thanks.
Any other equipment things that we need to deal with? So I told you guys you needed to deal with your shot and powder and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
as far as
that's
I
right.
can
I
tell,
don't have a pistol.
as far as I can tell, the weapons themselves don't come with bullet molding gear. I was going to say that Davino definitely needs to get a full-on armorer's kit.
Sure, I'm fine with that. I just don't know how much money I actually have.
Have you never known how much money you actually have?
Correct.
Starting wealth is what?
Well, let's see. You can find that out really
at the
easy.
moment,
Well, I've got it up here. Just
steel breastplate, a leather legging, and a boot, along with a large knife and a gun.
And how much did that run you? Crap.
620 for the
I
breastplate.
think it's
going to
be 2,000 total because I have spent 1,500 for surgical instruments and 400 for a small sword and 100 for a pocket watch, and I have 0 remaining.
Okay.
I will confirm shortly.
Yeah, I don't remember how much GCA gave me, but that sounds correct.
Yeah, we are TL4 2000.
Aha!
Let's see, GCA. Where's an armorer's kit? Because I know there's one in here.
It'll be
Or
portable.
there isn't.
It'll be under portable tools.
Yeah, portable
Armor.
armory toolkit, 600. Basic 289.
$600 weighs 20 pounds.
And I will assume that does include a bullet mold, however, it may not include a lot of bullet molds. Oh, right. So, another thing about guns. Paper cartridges. So, you can make your own paper cartridges. I'm not going to make you make rolls for that or anything. However, if you are going to have some, you should specify how many you're carrying with you at any given time.
Because if you get wet, you're hosed.
Because if you get wet, they're hosed, and, you know, you can't make more while you're riding a horse in the middle of the shit.
You know what still works after you get wet? Cutlass.
It does. So do bayonets.
Indeed.
Alright, well, obviously we're missing one tonight, so Claude has not yet been fetched to the ship.
Or she's hiding on the ship and we don't know it.
Has the
I think
flu.
anyone would have found out. Alright, so, I think that will do for now. You guys you'll have some other opportunities to deal with equipment shit, so you can keep working on that. In the meantime, we'll actually get underway. Harbor log. Monday, January 1st, 1725. Graceful Dame is at Kingston. There's a light to moderate breeze and hazy. I need a volunteer. First one in the chat gets it.
What, like a roll?
The first one to type something in the chat.
Ah,
Hayden wins. Or does he?
Can I choose the most worst outcome?
No. But if it makes you feel any better, this could be bad.
I don't know. This is that could potentially be bad for Hayden because like I want to choose the worst outcome. All right, you died because you are terminally ill. I don't see how that could be bad. That looks really, really awesome.
Until the camera pans around behind you and there's a whole tribe of natives coming to eat you.
Commander retired John Hayden finds himself standing on a beach just outside of Kingston. At his feet is a cutlass stuck into the sand. In his hand is a loaded pistol. Across from him, about 10 paces, is another cutlass stuck in the sand.
You're in a duel.
Behind that cutlass stands a kind of fat, angry gentleman who also has a pistol in his hand.
does he demand satisfaction?
He surely looks like he needs some.
Alright,
To
so
one
he...
side is another man looking very frustrated, holding out a handkerchief. This is the other man's second. Beside him is your second, Who is he?
And I'm choosing from our crew.
You are.
Okay. It would have to be a person that he trusts and knows quite well, so it's probably going to be Rogers.
It also needs to be somebody who can negotiate on your behalf, because that's kind of his job. But yeah.
Has Rogers got ability to negotiate?
Yes, I have diplomacy at 12.
Behind those two, looking very frustrated, behind them is the other 3 of you guys, and a handful of others that are with the other party. Why is John Hayden in this duel?
Who is the other guy?
He is a local merchant, gentleman. Older fellow?
In that case, it would be...
I'd say, why are you in this duel, and are you the aggressor?
Hayden's not likely the aggressor. He duels and stuff like that are a thing for, gentlemen.
So it involves the shopkeeper's daughter.
Yeah, in which case I'm like, how is Randall not the guy doing the duel?
If he's a local merchant and he's the aggressor, I would say it would be a deal that we made that has gone sour, or he's trying to get out of it. So the merchant has, wants to renege on a deal, and has made a false accusation or something like that to sort of extract himself from the situation.
I see.
Like, accused you of dishonesty or something?
Yeah. Or come up with some other bogus excuse. And
or he tried to cheat on the deal. You called him dishonest, and he demanded satisfaction for the insult.
or something like that.
That would make him the aggressor.
All right. So the rule is the second drops a handkerchief and you are to fire.
How far
Now.
away did you say they were?
You are 10 yards apart. I believe that's a -3.
And am I the one with the handkerchief or the other second?
The other second.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys have been all last night trying to negotiate not shooting.
Right.
So it now, am I right about that? Is it -3?
Hayden's a badass. So he's going to instruct Rogers not to drop the handkerchief.
Oh, I don't have it. It's the aggressor's second who has the handkerchief.
Okay. Hayden is not going to fire.
Okay, now if you do that, that is a severe insult. Basically, you're saying he's not worth the shot.
And that would be bad.
Now, if you were to, for example, just shoot him in the shoulder, that's still shooting him.
It counts as well-blooded.
But yeah, if you don't fire or you fire obviously into the ground or something, yeah, that's...
So that's acquiring an enemy.
You don't do that to your enemy.
Okay.
Range 10 is -4.
Alright, -4 for range. You'll get +1 for all out determined, because you're not supposed to dodge. And a +1 for careful loading of the pistols. In this case, he has a matched dueling set, and you'll be using that.
I
Unless
have
you
the
insist on
perk
using your
Eye
own.
for Distance. Does that help me here at all?
I
Don't know that one.
don't think so.
I think it might actually.
No, because you can't set the sights for the range. It doesn't have any.
Power ups to page 13.
Yeah, it'll help if he's aiming a cannon or something, but in this particular case it won't. You've also got plenty of time for aim, so I'll give you a full aim. Damn it, I thought there was a dueling set on there. What kind of pistol are you using? Do you have?
Military pistol. Whatever that equates to.
Do you actually have one on your sheet?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, it's called military pistol. Does 2d -1 piercing plus.
That must be in the basic set or something. Okay, well, that's probably the flintlock pistol, so we'll just assume it's that one. Alright, that'll be fine. Alright, so full aim, all out, careful loading. Let's see, the accuracy on that is 1.
So that'll be +5 all up.
So that's not that bad. Alright, target.
And I know that Hayden's not going to cheat, so I'm standing so that I can see both the handkerchief and the opponent.
How many of these has Randall participated in, I wonder?
I prefer the sword.
So max bonuses is going to be +4 plus accuracy, yeah? If I mathed that right.
Yeah. And then -4 for the range, so total +1.
Are these shooting simultaneously, or is Hayden being a badass and letting the guy shoot first?
I think this would fall under cascading weights, in which case I think it's going to be a contest of dex. But I'm going to check that.
I was mostly asking Randall, not the GM. I don't care what the GM thinks. He's just the
Smooth.
GM.
So I will say that as seconds, we have come to an agreement that there will only be 1 shot each, and that if the duel must be continued after that, it will be continued with the blades in the sand at their feet.
Very well. Okay. So the second will look to each party and ask if you're ready.
Hayden just nods.
Right side ready. Left side ready.
And since Hayden is a military man, he's going to give him a side profile. Not that it's going to change mechanics or anything like that, but it's going to make him a thinner target.
All right. The handkerchief drops.
Lock your flintlocks back into firing position.
So, this will be a contest of dex-based guns in this case, I think.
So normal guns?
You get a +1 for combat reflexes. Do you have combat reflexes?
Yes.
Thought so, okay. Okay. A bonus equal to basic speed. That's weird. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. It's kind of like a chase roll in that regard. So you get +1 for combat reflexes, plus your basic speed, minus fractions, +2 for fighters who needn't move at all. We'll ignore that one. Blah, blah, blah.
What
yeah,
does... Okay, so minus fractions. That you mean drop fractions.
Right. So he will get that, and...
So it'll be
his roll.
Dex +6 for Hayden. Oh, it's a guns, correct?
Yeah. Blah.
Holy crap!
Okay, well, you fired
Oh, boy,
first.
Boom.
All right.
Headshot.
Then you may fire.
That dude, I'm presuming with that guy sort of obviously flinched, and Hayden was the faster reaction to it, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was.
So everybody saw the
He was way ready.
merchant.
Ooh.
Everybody saw the merchant go for the shot first.
All right. You did not pick a target, so this would be center mass.
Yep.
Roll your damage.
Non-combat question: did the merchant attempt to fire before the handkerchief dropped?
He did not.
Okay, good.
That looks like it could hurt a little bit.
All right, and yeah.
Oh crap! I just realized when I blew out the cache, it lost all of my quick keys.
Unfortunate.
He
Yep.
he rolled the same thing you did, but his skill isn't as good. And he just got shot, so technically that would have been with the... Yeah. He actually missed by quite a bit. Not enough to hit one of the bystanders, though. So...
Because you would be really silly if you stood behind him.
And he's still standing there for a second, like, what, are you going to do something? And you see the little red spot there in his upper chest. And after a second there, he's suddenly starting to feel it. It's like, shit, oh god, I've been shot.
I will hand Rogers my pistol.
I take it.
And he goes a bit white in the face and flops down butt first onto the sand.
Article is going to advance over there, pausing at the guy's second, and say,
Well,
do you mind?
I'll hold my hand up, like not yet, to Article.
So is he going down as in defeated?
That remains to be seen.
Well, let's see.
I'll say to his second, does your man beg pardon?
Okay, so what's going to happen is the man sits there for a second and shakes it off. He sort of rolls forward to grab at this sword out of the sand and say, "Have at you." And as he starts to get up, he stumbles a bit and sticks it back in the ground sort of as a steady. At which point his second rushes over there and sort of tries to help him up, and he's still kind of stumbly.
Does your man beg
to
pardon?
him. And he tries to grab at the sword again, and you see the pain in his eyes, and he's like, "No, that's it."
Hayden will grab the cutlass from the sand, sheath it, and he'll walk over, calm, collected, straight back, and he'll stand at the guy's side, and he'll say, "Should you live, I expect those goods delivered by the morning."
While he's doing that, I'll say, the duel is concluded. Dr. Spencer, please.
Yes, I suppose. Let's see what we can do here.
He is actually at 0.
Oh, okay. Well, that means surgery's not going to necessarily be required.
On the other hand, there is no exit wound.
Whoa.
Oh dear. Be the diagnosis angle to check and go say, oh, okay, well you're not doing too terrible. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. There appears to be no exit wound, so you still have a bullet lodged in you, sir.
I'll be fine, sir. It's just a scratch. The second
Several
seems to
ounces
think
of lead.
otherwise.
What's the guy's name?
Mr. Smith, oddly enough.
Mr. Smith, I suggest you take the offer from our doctor.
All right, so article is. I wonder if do you really need to? Well, I guess you do need to make a diagnosis roll, or it'd just be first aid to stop the bleeding.
Well, the diagnosis roll is required in the event that you ever do any surgery, because if you do surgery without first doing a diagnosis roll, you are at an additional -5 because it is listed as undiagnosed problems.
Right. Well, I'm presuming that you're not going to do surgery here.
Oh, good Lord, no. And
Do you
for all I
have
know, this
physician
guy-
higher than first aid? What's your physician skill at?
No, my physician's only at 12.
Because you can substitute physician for first aid.
Yeah, but for all I know, this guy has a personal doctor surgeon that he prefers. So
He does insist that he has his own doctor.
So I'm going to spend the time ensuring that this dude doesn't straight up bleed out. I don't know what the hit point recovery is for this tech level. I probably should look that up.
Probably just 1.
It's not. It's probably 1D minus something.
Like
I
with a
could
minimum of 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that only happens after like half an hour or 10 minutes, whatever it is.
Well,
He'll
I'll
only get
spend
1
that-
back. If you do the 1 minute first aid, you'll stop bleeding and he'll get 1 hit point.
TL4, 30 minutes, 1D minus 2.
Can you make that code Duello public? It doesn't show up in the notes list.
Oh, it's not a note, it's a story, and that probably was a
okay.
mistake.
Ah, no, it's public in the story list. I just didn't know to look there.
Oh, or you can look in the story list.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the entire 30 minutes to ensure everything.
The
So he will
merchant
recover
is
the
a bit-
1.
The merchant
and
protests greatly, but his second insists on allowing you to tend to him here.
I definitely do the sir, you have several ounces of lead in you. Sit still or you're gonna die. And if the second indicates this guy does have actually a doctor, I think I'll accompany this dude to the doctor and then brief the doctor.
That would be
And
reasonable.
possibly even assist in the surgery. So the next time you guys see articles, nope, sorry, he died in surgery. Like what?
While the first aid is going on, one of the guys in the merchant's entourage comes over to Sir Randall and discreetly presses a shilling into his hand.
Did you have a side bet?
With an eye roll.
Always have a side bet.
Rogers will shake Hayden's hand and say, honorably concluded business. Well done.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Rogers happens to notice one of the ladies in the merchant's entourage looking away suddenly.
I'll follow her glance. What is she looking at?
Well, she's looking off into space right now.
I see. I caught her watching and she glanced away. Got it.
So, the business being more or less concluded, you guys, I presume, will head back to town.
As stated, article will probably at least let Randall know. Oh yeah, Randall's the guy in charge on the land. He's Hayden's the master, right?
You guys haven't necessarily established all that yet. You're still getting it together. Now, for organizational sake, I suppose, the ship has been refitted and it was launched yesterday, at which point it was also christened the Graceful Dame, and the final paperwork was signed, the registration, all that crap. So at the end of the day, yesterday, the ship is officially yours. Now you guys are in the process of, if you hadn't decided already, what you're going to do with it. Now, Payne is the owner of the ship. Hayden has been hired as the master of the ship and is basically in charge to that degree, in a legal sense.
Kind of like a pilot.
Well, I'll distractedly tell Randall that I'm going to escort them to the surgeon. I'll catch up later.
As you are. Or as you were. Or whatever. Carry on.
Whatever.
Do I need to fight my lecherousness about the lady in the other party?
I don't know, do you?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking the GM.
Do you bother trying?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that would be inappropriate under the circumstances. I don't know who that is.
Okay, well.
Why would that stop you?
Because I'm a gentleman?
Let's see. Give me a universe roll, and that'll determine how appropriate it is. It is terribly inappropriate, which means she's probably a bit too young and probably the guy's daughter.
Yeah, okay, I'll ignore it, if possible.
I won't. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I was about to say,
But
what's Randall's stuff?
Well, she doesn't look 14.
It is the 1700s.
It did. Back to Kingston. So on the way in, somebody will end up having noticed a ship coming in from the south. It is, as it approaches, determined it is a very large ship. Identify it as an East Indiaman, which is an unusual sight around here because those typically operate in the east, not in the west. Other than that, looks like it's flying Dutch colors, which is no surprise.
Who's at war with who at this time?
Right now, you are between wars.
Yeah, it's like it's Earth. Somebody's at war with somebody somewhere.
The last war was Queen Anne's War, I think. No, wait. Yes? Let me refresh my mind. No, that was Quadruple Alliance. That one was the Dutch, the British, the French, and the HRE versus the Spanish. And that ended 4 years ago. Some business about the Habsburgs inheriting Spain and France, and everybody said, oh no. Or was it the HRE? No, it was the HRE. Filthy Habsburgs. As you guys are approaching town, a guy runs up to your company. You recognize him as Billy, and he goes straight for Sir Randall and tells him that he has great news, that he has discovered the location of Old Tom.
Have you now? Well, that is great. A drink for you, then. Come.
Oh, you don't want to drinking. You don't want Billy drinking. You remember what he's like when he's drinking.
Billy,
he'll control himself today. Today for sure.
Billy
oh wait,
is
I'm not there.
Billy is a budding. Well, you're still there. You're just on your way somewhere else. Billy is a budding information broker in town. He prides himself in knowing everything that's going on and selling it to the highest bidder. And obviously, he's been recruited in trying to figure out where the hell Tom lives. Says, yeah, he'll give you basic directions. He lives up in the Blue Mountains in some kind of shack off the road somewhere. It's taken all this time for somebody to even find him. He's kind of dropped off the radar.
What is this radar you speak of?
It's a
Strange
thing
word.
that people say.
Well, you know where we can be found for beverages.
You guys have already agreed to payment, although the conditions of the payment are up to you, I suppose, whether you're going to pay him now for the info or pay him after you find it. Whatever you decide was agreed to will be fine.
Right.
And if you have nothing else for him, he'll go on his way.
Nope, I have nothing further. Our day keeps getting luckier, gentlemen.
So, with that, what shall you guys do?
Wait, what time of day was it?
It is early, like just after sunup.
Well, Randall has his duel at 10 and 11 and 12.
I keep a busy I keep a busy schedule.
A busy what now?
Yeah, right.
Busy sexual?
No wonder you have
What?
so many duels.
Exactly.
So, for the record, what I'm looking for here is, are you guys going to just
Investigate
go
old
on
Tom?
and find old Tom, or are you going to do something else first, or
Well,
you
make
guys
sure we
gonna
gather
split
up.
off?
Well, I'll give opportunity for those who want to join me to go find old Tom to catch up. And
Or I guess Article is going to go still
Yep.
escort the merchant to his doctor and see to him for a while, so I guess you got a little bit before he comes back if you're going to wait for him.
well, if
Yeah,
it's
no,
early
I
enough,
think
have we
maybe-
had breakfast before he went to duel, or have we not had?
I don't know. It depends on whether Hayden is like, I always have a big breakfast before I kill a man.
No, roll a d2.
I say it should depend on Hayden.
Yeah, he could just choose.
That's true.
Does he have a large breakfast before he shoots a man?
Hayden does not have a large breakfast before he kills anyone. Hayden doesn't actually like killing people.
Hayden has a
So,
coughing fit.
Breakfast it is.
Breakfast it is.
It's on
Well,
me too, and I show the coin that I just won.
Before we split up, I'll ask Article if he needs me to go with.
Why? No, just
Very well. So I'll go with Randall.
Okay. So, Article splits off, and everybody else goes to the boarding house where Randall's staying to eat.
I'm still arguing with the patient the entire time.
Before Article leaves the group, Hayden will take him off for a private chat, and he'll request that Article source some opium before we sail.
Yeah, you're going to have to figure out how much of that you're going to have to take with you.
So are we talking
you don't want to run out.
barrels?
Well, I'm thinking this is the 1720s, so it
I don't know
doesn't
how many doses per bottle.
quite have the stigma that it will have in the later, the 1800s.
Yeah, well, I mean, the tincture of it, like the concentrated form dissolved in alcohol, is really the only effective painkiller of the period. So it's commonly used and perfectly ordinary.
Sounds like a powder.
Yeah, let's see. Is laudanum around at this point, or
Yeah.
is that newer?
My expectation is that it's specifically laudanum that he's using.
Because that's pretty much all there is.
I suppose there are some plants you could chew on.
Laudanum remained largely unknown until the 1660s. Okay.
Yeah, it's around then.
By the 18th century, which would be now, the medicinal properties of opium and laudanum are well known, and the term laudanum came to refer to any combination of opium and alcohol. Okay.
That's what I just said.
Yep.
Then you spoke correctly.
I congratulate you on your perspicacity, sir.
By what? I demand satisfaction.
That was a compliment, you bloody fool.
That's not the first time you're going to hear that either from him.
Now that's from
It's like his favorite word.
Is that the? I think it's
I
the
think it
second
is
or
the
the
second.
second or third of the Horatio Hornblower miniseries thing. They had.
It's got to be the second.
Yeah, they had, what is it? The guy who played Wedge Antilles, Dennis Lawson, as.
Oh
as
man, I haven't watched that in years.
Yeah, and it's just like they're this exchange between these captains who are going to go out and end up dueling later. It's like, I think you're casting aspersions on my bravery. I congratulate you on your perspicacity, sir. I shall have my second call upon yours. He will be most welcome. And it's like, oh, okay, guys, and you're totally there with Horatio looking at him going, yeah, you guys need to dial this down.
And ever since Phil saw that, it has never
love
ceased
that
to
line.
use that line.
It's an awesome line.
Surprised I haven't heard it before.
Right, well.
How much does it cost?
I know that that's in the book somewhere. It's probably in low tech. What I don't know is how many doses you need.
Large dose of opium.
Well, he doesn't take it to get off his tree. He just takes enough to, take the edge off the hurt. But I'll look that up. So in low tech, you think?
Yeah.
Low tech.
Like
Well,
my
if it's not
doctor
in
in our
low
Star
tech, it'll
Trek
be in
campaign.
high tech.
Starting on page 151, you have a lot of references to
Is
opium.
is that actually in low tech, Mark?
Yes, but it doesn't give you a
151?
cost. Yep, but I don't see a cost. It just says sedatives use rules basic 441. Roll versus health to avoid nausea.
Yeah, that may be something that I'll have to work with. I'll have to work with Daniel offline.
Yeah, we'll settle that definitely, because that's going to be important later. In the meantime, you guys arrive at the boarding house and start doing breakfast. At some point in the during the meal, a stranger enters and looks at Davino and says, You are Senor Palange, are you not?
I am. Who's asking?
My master urgently wishes to speak with you at insert church here, somewhere outside the town, and wishes you bring the gun. And you can hear the quotes.
That piques my curiosity. I'll gather everything up and head on.
Okay. Well,
are we aware of what he means by the gun? Well, I guess we probably see.
He asks you, "Will you come?" You say, "Yeah, I'll come," and then he just runs off. And I'm presuming you're not carrying that thing around with you everywhere you go. So you're probably going to have to go back to the ship and fetch it.
Yeah.
Unless, well, actually, you might not even be keeping it on the ship yet.
Oh, yeah, if we're still sorting everything out in the ship, because I know the paperwork was just signed, but if we still have supplies and all that to sort out, probably at a inn or tavern or something, and keeping it there.
Yeah, I think we had sorted out that everybody was basically staying at different boarding houses, hotels, whatever, over the last 6 months. And since you guys only just launched the ship, you're probably still keeping the gun at whatever place you're staying. Because at this point, you have no reason to believe anybody's after it.
Until now.
Until
That's
I just
true.
said something. You're about to.
That link I posted is that exchange that I was talking about in the Horatio Hornblower movie. It's hysterical. And so very, very British.
I need to watch that whole thing again.
Signor Palangi, is this something that you would like us to join you to assist with?
Well, I mean, if some of you want to come, you didn't exactly say to come alone.
You hear the stranger yell from somewhere down the street, "Alone!"
Alright, well, now you said it.
Funny how that works. Well,
stand corrected.
All right, so Davino's going to get up and stop eating and go get his stuff.
Pretty much.
And that's the last we ever saw of him, Your Honor.
To your health.
So, back to the question, though.
And to yours.
Is anybody going to try to go with him?
I'll offer to.
Yeah, just like I did.
Oh, look at him. He's not British, so we're the Brits are like, yeah, we'll make a half-hearted attempt, and then he wanders off and does Italian things.
I'm at leisure. Shall I accompany you?
Sure.
Rogers gets up.
So, who was the old Tom dude that we were looking for?
He has potential information on our, at the start of our expedition.
What Payne actually knows about old Tom is that he used to run with Morgan's crew. That is
Insight.
Captain Henry Morgan.
We all feel the urge to have some rum.
Well, you're in the Caribbean, so that happens.
But every
a lot.
time you say Captain Morgan, you have to take a swig of rum. You have
Put
to.
your knee, and your leg has to go up on
That's right.
Something higher.
You have to pose.
Is Randall the captain, by the way?
Randall is the ship's owner.
Hayden is the captain.
He's technically master of the ship, yes. Now, if you're looking for authority in the group, that's a whole other matter.
Yeah, we're kind of at our own while we're on the land.
Well, I kind of meant like in the thick of battle, who do you listen to?
Yeah,
and what
that's
I'm
up to
hearing
you.
is
I don't think we've established that. Well,
I would be surprised if Rogers responded to someone other than Hayden in a battle situation because he just acts like a friggin' captain.
Exactly.
That's one of the.
That's what I'm getting.
Damn, that should have been one of his quirks. Hayden is that the epitome quirk. Just looks like a friggin' ship captain.
Well, does have like a born ship leader, something like that.
Yeah, that may figure in.
Oh, he's got Born Sailor? Oh, hell yeah. He's that guy.
All right.
He has Born Sailor and Born War Leader.
Yeah, so we probably all kind of just naturally allow
Yeah,
him
defer.
to
Well,
direct us in
You guys have
fights.
interacted with him enough that you guys all know him that way. So
He uses the
definitely.
Got it.
Picard maneuver on his jacket before the Picard maneuver was invented.
Davino and apparently Rogers will arrive at this chapel outside of town. It's, I want to call it abandoned. It's not in use. Nobody's actually worshiping there these days that you're aware of, anyway. And you can hear the sound of harp music from inside.
Interesting. Well, I'll go in.
And with?
And you have the gun. Sorry, looking for an image. Damn it, did I not include that? Oh well, never mind. Okay, well inside it's very dusty and old looking. Clearly hasn't been in use for a while, as I mentioned. When you enter, you see the man that you saw earlier playing the harp. Not, particularly well, but nice, easy music. On a pillar nearby him is a priest, Catholic priest from the look. He is tied to the pillar.
What?
And he looks very exhausted, I think is probably the best word.
See, Rogers is British, so he may be like, oh, damn it, a Catholic.
Well, actually, I'm going to glance at Davino to see if he is as surprised to see this as I am.
Is this
That's a
typical of
definite
Catholics?
I'd heard they have some weird rites, but what's up with that?
I'm not exactly devout Catholic, but I don't recognize that from any of my books.
So
The
you're
priest-
surprised as well?
Yep.
Okay.
The priest, as you approach, looks up and says, you're here. Excellent, excellent. And you have the gun with you. Do let me see it. Does it have the mark on the butt? The pentagram with the letters.
Yes.
I forgot what the letters were already.
Bad GM.
I want to say
Bad.
it's MW.
And it has the script in the butt plate. It says non timebo mala.
Correct.
Excellent. You have no idea how long I've looked for this thing.
No, give it to me.
Its name is Misericordiæ. It means mercy in Latin.
Hey, that was one of Gabe's weapons names.
I had forgotten that was the case.
Ooh, creepy crossover.
Says it's good that you've come. I have need of the gun, you see. I need you to kill me.
I'm sorry. What?
That was like a wait, what?
You see, this weapon is blessed. It has the ability to kill anything that it strikes.
Well, yes, it is a gun.
No, but you must understand. You see, I did combat with a shaman, an African shaman, somewhere near Santiago de Cuba, and I slew him. But when I did, the evil spirit that possessed him leapt into me. And I have held it off for months now, and I fear I'm at the end of my ability. But I cannot allow the evil spirit to escape, lest it kill others and do other evil. That gun is the only thing that can destroy it, and with it me. Will you do this?
I don't exactly make it a habit of killing random people I run into.
As you,
Again,
as
feels
you're,
like my
Murder to me.
hesitance about the whole curse of the shaman and such.
as you're sort of mulling that over for a second and about to answer, you hear the harp sort of cling a bad note, and notice that the servant over there has nodded off a bit. Clearly, he's been at it all night. And as he does so, you see the demeanor of the priest change to something else. Very, very angry, and he rattles off some things in Venetian.
I'm using luck on my self-imposed IQ roll.
Okay. What are you doing?
I take a step back and say, do it.
After a second there, the guy nods off and starts playing again, apologizing, and the priest returns back to his former self and
Davino,
tells you that
do what he says.
I have a bag over there. It contains the original silver shot made for that gun.
I'll go fetch it.
You look in the bag, there are indeed silver balls etched with a crucifix, and they look to be about an inch diameter, so they look to be about the right bore size.
I bring the bag over and hand Davino one. I think we should listen to him.
I'm suspiciously. Why?
Something's not right.
Well, yeah, of course it is. Someone just asked me to shoot him and is rambling off about curses and magic silver bullets and.
It's a gut feeling. And I again take a step away from the priest, so that I'm not the closest person to him if he happens to perish without being killed in the proper way.
You start loading.
Well, I don't have the gun. I've just got the bag of bullets, and I'm offering them to Davino and telling him that I think we should do what he says.
Does Davino start loading?
Ask for absolution before you take him out. I guess that depends on how religious you are. Well, what personality traits do you have that would definitely prevent you from doing that?
Well, the main is that the main two that he actually has are impulsive and curious. So I think he's going to be impulsive about being curious and just like that's like what I need more like what's going on? Why is this gun the only thing that can do this thing? Where do you even get these ideas from? Just general like what the heck is this? And so currently, no, he's not loading the gun just because this is way too outlandish. He doesn't know enough.
The priest apologizes and says, I just don't have time to explain it all. I'm afraid I could pass at any moment. And then we're all screwed. Not in that term, though.
Doomed.
Doomed. And as he says that, the servant nods off again, and very briefly, the priest in Venetian calls you a murderer and a thief. And
I will
names-
take the harp and just pluck the strings one by one, like not trying to play a tune, but just trying to ding, 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 ding.
And you swear for a second you think his eyes glowed.
Davino, do what he says. Ding, 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 ding. We're running out of time.
I'll start loading, but I'm not committed to firing just yet.
While I'm plucking at the strings ineffectively, I will kind of kick the old man who is playing, try to wake him up.
No, he woke up when you took the harp and
Oh, good. I'll
thanked
put
you
it back in his hands.
profusely for doing it.
Yeah, I'll put it back in his hands, and I'll kind of like clap him on the shoulders and lightly tap him on the cheeks, try to keep him awake and playing.
Davino
Just a little bit longer.
Davino finishes loading the rifle. Not the rifle, the musket.
Just
And
a bit longer, sir.
do you present?
I'll get in the stance, but I won't actually raise the rifle. Just
The servant looks at your hesitation and says, "May I? It should be me."
Oh,
if you must.
He's gonna steal your gun.
He as Rogers continues to pick at the harp, he kneels in front of the priest and asks for absolution, which he grants, and then he takes a step back and saying, "I'm sorry, and I'll tell your family." He pulls the trigger, and with a very loud boom and a great deal of flash and smoke, the preacher dies rather spectacularly. Shot right through the heart. Well,
is there any
not
kind of
that-
like supernatural occurrence after
not
the
not
ball
that
hits?
kind of spectacularly. Just
Ah.
got hit with a friggin' 1-inch caliber bullet.
Gotcha.
It
I'll
wasn't
I'll
pretty.
say to the servant, "Is it done then?"
He looks around, looks at himself. Well, we're not trying to kill each other. I think it is. Then he hands the gun back to Davino and says, "Thank you. I will see to his body, and I will find you before I leave. I'll have to go back to England and let his family know that he's passed."
Get some rest.
Please do, because I need to know more about this.
The silver shot is yours. Use it well. And he unties the body and starts dragging it out to to the cemetery outside.
Let's go back to town. On the
He
walk
just
back.
silently walks off. Yeah.
Well, actually, on the walk back, Rogers is going to say to Davino, I am as unsure as you about exactly what just happened, but I am sure that it was important. Just, I have a feeling in my gut that that was not a crazy person. He was not mad.
He seemed very
And that's
sane
all.
when he was lucid.
Yeah, exactly. And he was not mad. I think we just prevented something terrible from happening.
The funny thing is, you may never know. So, you return to town. Some hour or so later, Article rejoins the rest of you as you all gather somewhere, probably at that boarding house, and figure out what to do next. The merchant.
First, he's going to tell everybody that the merchant's doctor was a quack and the merchant died.
Is he lying?
Unfortunate.
I don't know. Is he?
No, he's not dead.
Oh.
He's,
then I'm not going to have said that.
He's recovering. I want to say he's recovering. The surgery occurred. The bullet was extracted. But time will tell. That's how these things go. He could linger for a week and then die, or he could recover completely.
But honestly, with that, just looking at the dude's diet, he's not going to recover. He's going to do something stupid and die.
He was very stubborn. Cursing both you and his doctor the whole time. So, plan.
Sounds like we're going to go talk to Homeboy.
I will tell you that Old Tom's place, according to Billy's directions, is probably half a day's walk into the bush. And up the quasi mountains, if you want to call it that. I mean, it is mountains. They're just not that impressive. If you've seen the Alps or something. Oh, and Mark ran off.
Do we have an X marks the spot on this map?
No, but I can tell you that it's like out that way. And my yellow pointer is not showing up very well.
And that scale's correct, 14 miles?
Yeah. There are roads, mostly. They're not metalled or anything, but they're at least cleared, so they're not that bad.
So we can take the roads most of the distance?
Yeah.
Are horses a thing typically used?
There are plenty of horses around here. Unfortunately, you do not own any. They do rent horses, though. I've actually discovered they had this sort of U-Haul kind of system, at least in England, I think, or in Europe generally, where you like rent the horse in one town and you ride it to the next town and hand it off to some guy there.
The post.
I could not tell you how much that will cost, though. But it's probably not cheap.
It's a hike.
You could probably, since GURPS doesn't use inflation or anything like that, you could probably use the, U-Haul or car rental, modern car rental rate.
I think the rental rate was like 10% for traveler. Is it 10% or is it 1%? Was that monthly? If you intend to rent horses or something, then, or you could potentially borrow horses, I guess, if you know a guy.
Who has the riding skill?
I do.
Well, then so far you're the only one. So you can rent a horse, the rest of us will walk.
I have it at 10.
I have 11.
But I'm completely broke, so I'm going to be probably walking.
Well, we walk.
Likewise.
We walk from here.
You totally beat me to it.
All right, well, you're going to expect a good chunk of the day walking out there and a good chunk of the day walking back. So it'll be dark by the time you get back.
Take some food.
You know that you are going out into the bush a little bit, although there are roads, they're cleared, but you can expect encounters with animals and or maroons or potentially plantations along the way. There should be plenty of those, although those would probably thin out as you go toward the interior. So, for the record, Maroons are the escaped slaves who live in the center of the island and who occasionally cause trouble and revolt and that sort of thing. There's actually been there's a rebellion brewing, or not a rebellion, a war brewing with the Maroons. But they're not quite there yet.
Trusty sword, trusty pistol. I think we're good.
All right,
friends.
so
am I
this
missing something? Did we not have ammo on the rule set?
Didn't we?
We do, yeah.
We don't. Well, I don't see it.
Shots. Huh.
I apparently need to update the rule set then.
Daniel needs to update the rule set because he's old and busted.
That had not even occurred to me, obviously.
Yeah, well, luckily, at least in this case, most of our ammo is going. In fact, I think all of our ammo is going to be 1.
That explains why when
yeah,
I went to import Rogers, my only choice to import was Dustin Tome.
The ammo would be a good way to record how many paper stuffs you've got.
Yeah, I was going to say, so this would be the point where you need to decide how many paper cartridges you've already got made up.
20 in a leather pouch.
There you go.
Likewise.
0. Because I'm not carrying a pistol.
Are you not?
I
Me too.
couldn't afford a pistol. Remember, I spent all my money on surgical instruments.
Well, I didn't realize it was all.
Well, mostly all. Out of 2,000, I spent 1,500 on the surgical instruments.
All right. Well,
The ship probably has some muskets if you want to carry one.
the ship does not have muskets unless you buy muskets for the ship. Having said that, there are potentially company funds available if something like that is required.
I'll do
But we'll deal with
the
that
Sergeant
later.
Major Plumley thing. You know, if I need a rifle, there's going to probably be one lying around.
You do at least have a sword.
Yep.
All right. Well, I am going to take a small break, and then we'll get to
No,
the
you
old
can't
Tom
take
business.
a break.
So,
It's
take
only like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, well, don't have to wait all the way to the end to take a break.
Can we do 10?
No.
We could potentially do 10 if we need to. Do we need
Okay,
to?
well, if I'm the last one who's not back, then carry on without me, and I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Very well. On break.
All right. We're back.
Huzzah.
All right, so I'm not going to make a big to-do out of this, but
Because we got some swashes to buckle.
there will be a random encounter sorted on the way out and one on the way back. So the way that's going to work is
It's not
that's going
very
to be
random if you tell us about it.
I know. I was just thinking that. Is it really not random?
That's not what I meant.
The possibility of a random
The
encounter.
possibility of a random
Okay.
encounter on the way out
Words mean things.
and on the way back. Yes. The way I'm going to do that is a universe reaction roll, which will be of the interesting situation variety. So if it's good or bad, that will make it more interesting. And if it's neutral, it will be not very interesting. And as stated, the sorts of encounters one might expect here are animals, maroons,
Ninja
possibly
Cougars.
possibly bandits of some sort other than maroons, but no ninja cougars.
Oh. Well, maybe Ninja Jaguars?
So I would probably normally start on the left, but the guy all the way on the left is not here currently. So, Randall, you get the duty.
Duty. Reaction.
So,
Oh, can I luck that?
is it really lucky? All right, so the terrain here is quote-unquote jungle. It's definitely not like an Amazon jungle. It's a island Caribbean jungle. So there's palm
Welcome to the
trees and
jungle.
that sort of thing, but they're not that impressive. And as stated, you pass a bunch of plantations and such on the way out, and then you get out into the mountains and you start having to climb a bit, and into the proper jungle there. There's a marker that Billy gave you that is where you turn off and you go up a bit of a trail, and you can in fact see in the distance a shack of some form or another.
Is it natural to call out before we arrive to not surprise the snot out of somebody in this regard?
It would seem pretty natural to me.
We call out.
For starters, though, I will have everybody make a perception roll.
Which roll?
Perception.
Or observation.
I don't think
Should plug
so.
that in the box.
Wow.
Was not expecting to actually succeed at that.
All right. Well, as you are approaching the hut there, you realize that you're not the only ones
Approaching the hut, or
approaching the hut. There's somebody else coming from the other direction. And as Article notices immediately, they are also armed.
But as one of his quirks, sometimes he forgets what language he's talking in. So he's, goes, "Oh, that's interesting," in Portuguese.
Article in English, please.
What? Sorry. Oh, those gentlemen. They seem to be armed. And then they probably start shooting me. Oh no, it's a battle map. It's a woodland battle map even.
I like the sign on that hut. This must be the place.
Ignore that.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
God damn it.
That
I'm back.
Be the place.
Oh, this is so fucking annoying.
You forgot to do something, didn't you?
No, there's something weird going on with the token sizes. Because they always come in at... They're already locked. But
Okay, go
too
to your
small.
settings. Sorry about that bird squeak.
Wait, is it that?
Yeah, you've got it set to automatically resize to 80% or whatever.
Damn it. And I knew about that. Where the hell was that? Where the hell is that? Oh, there it is. Off. Let's see if that works better. Yeah, now I have to redo it. I already freaking set this shit up. Damn it. So much for keeping it moving. Oh, did Davino bring Boom with him? Of course he brought Boom with him.
Yeah, of course I brought Boom with me.
Damn it, I should have thought of that earlier. Alright, so let's see, is that gonna work? Probably not. No, of course not.
I think these are thugs.
They seem very thug-like to you. So, for the record, Article spotted them quite a ways out. So, they will definitely not surprise you. And let's see, yeah, him and Palange as well, I would say.
Look, gentlemen, ruffians.
Well,
I was-
you were looking for trouble. I think
I was
you
looking
found
for
it.
trouble. Is this it? Huh, interesting. Didn't realize Davino was going to be at the top of the list.
Well, technically, him and Randall are interchangeable. It's wait, I don't know. It depends on their respective dexes.
12 for me.
12.
Yeah, so it's probably just alphabetic.
Alright, well,
Scored higher on the perception roll anyway, so there.
you guys definitely get the impression you spotted them before they spotted you, so you have the first chance to respond. Or, well, I guess it wouldn't be respond, it would be to act.
Is Article speaking the same language that I heard in the church?
No, he is not.
Oh, good.
Well, that was Venetian. Probably heard Davino speak that, and you know I speak it because I've probably chatted with Davino.
And
No,
I speak it
Portuguese.
as well.
Portuguese does not sound like Italian. Or at least that's my understanding.
Damn, I wish I had thought of that though. That would have been really funny.
So we're not in combat rounds yet. What are you guys going to do?
Loosen my cutlass in its scabbard.
I'm going to make a little bit of a scene, hey, there's something over there, but point off to the side where they definitively aren't, and then start walking that way.
But they have seen us, right?
The impression that the two, that being Article and Davino, got was that they had not been spotted.
Then
Although, obviously, that
Hayden
won't
will
last
suggest
very long.
that we go for some cover.
We got a tree over here. Why? I need to change colors.
That's a terrible color. Change it to red. For all the blood you're going to shed in your quest for fortune and glory. Oh,
That'll work.
so it's purple, so that means you're planning on becoming a king. Gotcha.
Heck yeah.
Either that or a pimp.
Both.
King Pimp. Pimp King.
I am the Pimp King.
You're going for cover. Where are you going?
I'm assuming those are, yeah, so we've got a tree trunk over there, and a tree trunk over there.
You guys going to spread out or stay together?
That one seems more logical because it's closer to our target.
Agreed.
Plus, you know,
And
we
we can
can
move up, use the
move up
building
to
as...
there, yeah.
I
But
like
I'm
it.
not my character's not a tactical thinker, so I don't even think I have the tactic skill.
It would probably
Well-
be best to split. That way we could actually flank if we had to.
Davino is the only one with the decidedly more reach out of all of us.
The big bada boom.
It is a big bada boom, yes.
So Davino's probably best to go.
So
the tree on the right.
what he has, is it like effectively a rifle?
It is a musket. It is a very
Okay.
large musket.
Okay. I hadn't actually, I wasn't paying attention when you're spinning up the character, so wasn't sure what the actual weapon itself was.
How ubiquitous are firearms?
They're ubiquitous.
So, can we expect these thugs to have them?
If you look, you will see that they have them.
Oh, hey, look, I needed a firearm.
An assortment of pistols and muskets of some form or another.
Perfect.
So being somewhat tactical in nature, Hayden will say, Davino, Randall, that tree over there, cover our positions. And then he'll say, the rest of you with me. Doctor, stay behind us.
What? Yes, I suppose. Okay.
If you think that I'm best at range, then sure. I
All
will
right.
go that way.
For the record, you will have 3 tactical plot points.
Is Randall not good at any sort of range?
I am best at close combat. Range is...
Randall has a pistol and a sword. And
much better
just
swordsman.
so
than
you
I
guys
am.
are in the right mindset, remember that you're effectively got one-shot weapons. So you definitely don't want to miss.
And the reload time is really long.
Yeah, like 20 seconds.
Depending. There are mitigating factors there.
I mean, I'm fine wherever.
If close range is your thing, then
I have a 12 pistol,
Really,
With it.
close range is everybody's thing.
and I have my rapier is, well, actually, 13. I like to think of myself as a better swordsman than a pistol.
Wow. You know, that's sad. That's what my skills are. You know, 12 pistol, which I don't have, and 13 small sword. How do I?
We're
13?
gentlemen, not...
does Davino have a pistol as well?
Not currently, no.
Now, I'm actually much better with my sword. Actually, I'm a 15 with my sword.
Oh yeah, I
It is
forgot about.
well balanced, and it is. So, my effective sword skill is actually 50.
We were supposed to get Davino that axe gun. Boarding
I
axe
thought that was
gun.
going to come later.
No, the normal boarding axe gun.
Oh.
Can Davino use
We
a
had
pistol?
that discussion. You can use all the guns.
Alright, then Hayden will hand Davino his pistol and say, cover us from that tree. But everyone else
Unless
this
that's
way.
covered by guns musket, I can't use it.
I thought you had more than just guns musket.
I have guns musket. And gunner cannon, but don't have a cannon.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, place them. And should probably make a stealth roll or something.
Stealth. Oh boy, I just
You know-
saw my stealth level.
My what's the default for stealth?
Ooh,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
Who's the man?
Dex -5.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So Davino, you can't use the pistol at all.
No, I'd have to default
He
off
can.
something.
He defaults it.
Well, in that case, he won't be
So
won't give you
close.
the pistol.
All right, where's everybody else going?
To the other tree.
Boom is going with Davino.
And I will draw and ready my sword.
Right. Well, never minding the slightly failed stealth check there. You've got some time to set up a wait. So what shall be your conditions? What are you going to do?
Were they coming this way, or were they waiting for somebody?
They are creeping in toward the hut.
It seems like they're going for the dude we want to talk to.
I will suggest to Hayden that I go up to the corner of the hut and wait for them. Wait for one to come around.
Bear in mind that is
Hayden nods.
according to the image I have, that looks like some kind of stable or something there in the back. And it looks like it's open. There is some stuff there, so you can still hide there, but bear in mind it's not like full cover.
Do I get a nod yes or a shake of the head no, or what?
Oh, Hayden nods.
Okay. I will sneak up
okay.
and press myself against the corner and
That
silently
corner.
draw my cutlass. Yeah. I assume they're going to try to come in the front, at least some of them.
Alright, well, let's see. They're going to have crept a little bit farther forward in that time period. We'll call it that. And under what conditions will shenaniganry ensue?
For me, it will be if one of them mounts the stairs there,
Uh-huh.
or if our ranged guy takes a shot at them and distracts them, I will heroic charge. Or if one of them goes up on the stairs, I will heroic charge and cut him across the legs.
Okay, and you're noticing that that is raised there.
But yeah, that's why I said I'd be cutting them across the legs,
okay.
because I'll be coming up at the side that's a drop off, and they'll be standing on it.
I don't want to assume. Alright, anybody else?
Seeing them come up that close, I will draw my pistol in my offhand.
I'll be just aiming at Thug 6.
Okay,
And
the question is, at what point, what do they have to do to make you go off?
notice us and move with hostile intent.
Okay. Is that everybody?
Now we have no idea why they're here, right?
Probably not. Only guesses.
It's like they're robbing the place.
I'll say
Tom's
basement
gonna
stairs for me.
have a heart attack when all the guns start going off all around him.
When everyone is in a position of cover and they have the guns ready and such, Hayden will call out and he'll say, "Identify yourselves."
Okay.
Yeah, that's a British thing to do.
Yeah, good call.
All right. Well, let's say they probably get a little bit closer when you do that. And you are staying where you are, you're just yelling at them.
Yes, but Hayden he'll be visible, but, behind the tree, or the trunk of the tree.
Right.
So it's just a step to the right, and he's within the cover of the tree, full cover.
Gotcha. Okay, at that point, it will definitely be on.
He will have his pistol drawn, but it will not be aimed or anything like that. It'll just be sort of at the ready. He's not trying to be threatening.
So you step out from the tree a little bit, and without the pistol being pointed directly at anyone, you yell out, "What's all this then?" And they are very surprised to see you there. At that point, they direct their weaponry in your vicinity.
Hostile intent! Hostile intent! All my modifiers is in the show.
Well, we should be taking weight, I guess.
Well, I think everybody else is definitely taking a weight. You stepped out and yelled, so I think not. Davino, is that going to be a firing action for you?
Nope, need him to get a little bit closer.
All right.
Let's see accuracy on your rifle. So
Plus
you're
3.
aiming?
Yeah, with max aim and accuracy, I'm at +5 right now, and then -7 for the range currently. But he's
Are you
he's
bracing
pretty
it
close.
against like a tree limb?
Oh yeah, I imagine
Yeah,
that'd
you can
be
get braced.
kind of being cover. Let's see, what's the brace?
Yeah, you better brace. The thing's heavy. I meant to tell you that the case that came in also included a fork, so you've got to rest. It's not
sweet.
long enough to rest it on the ground, but it's made for sticking it into a hole in the wall,
Okay.
like on a rampart. But in your case, a tree would probably work just as well. So you are not firing yet?
Not as of yet.
Okay. Those guys do train their weapons on you, and they start to advance, but they do not fire. They advance with purpose. And they ask who you are, and are you old Tom?
Good sirs, do we look old enough to be old Tom? No, we are but his friends. Come closer, and you will get shot, though. Your demeanor and mannerisms seem not too friendly.
So they have advanced a bit. They have interrogated. You're responding.
As my
I'm
companion
aiming.
said, one further step and we will fire.
I only heard 2 of you.
Oh, we are legion. Keep coming and see it.
I was expecting you to say, "You'll hear more here if you take another step."
You see that they do stop where they are. They are scanning for other potentials.
And I will kind of. I can brace a pistol like against part of the wall there, right?
Yep. And their eyes, as they scan, do not seem to light on anyone.
Lower your weapons and no one need die here today.
State your business.
We were going to tell you the same.
Oh, we are but friends of old Tom. Come to visit. Bring him baked goods from town. Right, old Tom?
About the time you're saying that, you hear the distinct sound of musket fire, or possibly a blunderbuss, accompanied by what sounds like an old man's voice yelling, "Ain't nobody
my
old
lawn."
Tom's friends!
Get off my lawn!
Get off my lawn!
Get off my lawn!" And Thug 2 takes one in the chest.
Well, I never liked Thug number 2. He had
And by
no
the way,
manner
it's
to
on
look.
now.
Yeah, that stands to reason that the shooting causes nearly everybody to go, "Ah!" and start shooting.
Shenaniganry is afoot.
In all the back and forth dialogue, have we been able to take aim?
I've been.
Let's see. If you actually raised your pistol after you stepped out from behind the tree, then yeah, you would have had at least a second or two to aim. Yeah, probably full.
So they did the same. They raised their pistols.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. Theirs were already up, and basically they definitely saw you. They probably saw Payne. I don't think they saw Rogers or anybody else. Which means they're all aiming at you.
Then Hayden is taking all-out defense.
So he's
They
not
were-
actually
they
aiming, he's
were
all out
all
defending.
aiming.
Yeah.
Alright. But Planche is up.
Alright, well, let's hope this works.
Boom!
Alright. Now,
Well,
don't
they
forget,
know that there's another.
don't forget these black powder weapons have a mouth number that is of concern to you.
Oh, you rolled a 10.
I'm just reminding everybody that that's a thing.
Right. I also have. That's why I have a
Ethan, do you
reliable
even know what that is?
pistol.
What
Malfunction.
is?
The malfunction number?
Nope.
Okay, so I don't recall what the actual mouth number is on your weapon specifically. But if you roll that or more, regardless of whether you hit or missed, a malfunction has occurred.
Oh.
From memory, I think it's 14.
It's somewhere around there.
Might be 15.
Mine is reliable, so it's one higher. But that's neither here nor there.
It might be there. Alright.
I hope it's. Yeah.
It looks
Just
like
never
you
goes
have
up.
actually hit. Did you were going center mass?
Yep.
What was that? That was 6. Alright, roll your damage. Actually, no.
Oh, in the
Ooh.
face! Oh,
Ow.
it blows your off.
I don't know what the round
Yeah,
amount
it
of
blows you
damage.
Does your rifle follow fire solids or shot?
It depends on what I load it with. It has canisters, shotguns, or standard shells, and this one was just a standard round.
More than likely what you're going to end up using is buck and ball. Which we'll have to deal with that later. But basically you load an almost full-size round and a few buckshot.
Plus that like explodes his head.
Okay, but that actually hit the ear.
But it's gonna keep going and probably blow through Thug 5. Roll. Roll.
Based on the angle between me and the target, would it go through his head into Thug 5 by chance? Just because it is a straight line between me and them?
Let's see.
Cap at 9.
Well, to be fair... Okay, it doesn't say anything about blowing through the ear, and that is coming from the side. So we'll just call that an actual...
Maybe this
actual
guy's looking in this
face.
direction, so if he hits the
Well, it may not
left
change
ear,
anything.
it just straight up goes through his brain and comes out the other ear.
Okay,
It's Thug
so
5's face.
15 points. No DR. Hit in the face, technically the ear. So he was clearly looking a little to his right, and you tagged him. How does that not do the brain though?
That's what I was thinking. It's like if the guy's looking at the cottage, based on that angle, that's just.
Well, the face
It's like
from a rear
crazy
hex
shot.
face from a rear hex becomes skull.
Well, it's not a rear hex though.
So it's just a normal head hit.
Uh-huh.
So he's missing, his jaw.
He's missing a chunk of face, including an ear, I guess. Maybe it didn't hit the ear; it hit and went through the ear.
It could be potential blow through there. So.
So he's gonna stop 10 points of that, and 5 points is going to continue through. So go ahead and roll that again.
Just roll 3d6.
Which again? Just the 3? Okay.
Your to hit. Same numbers.
Same numbers.
So you're
okay, overall -1.
-1.
Yes!
Wow.
Man. Give me another hit location.
This is why we keep Davino on the crew, apparently.
He shoots through, folks. And that's right. It would be his left arm, too.
I don't think you need to roll the damage again.
Because it's just
so he's
well.
just going to take... He'll take 5 points to that arm. Basically, that's what
I'll take it.
So his arm is going to be crippled. The other guy took effectively 30 points to the face. Or what would have been 30 points to the face.
That sets off my weight.
So he's done.
He's gonna hit the ground
That
screaming.
was 6.
Excellent.
I'm just going to call him dead because he's not going to survive that. The other guy has lost an arm. And yeah, there's an almighty boom over there.
Yeah, so since nobody is within range to heroic charge, that'll just be a full move for my weight.
Oh, okay.
Because my trigger was either one climbing the stairs or Davino shooting.
I'll give you that, but Pang can go ahead and start getting set up if you're going to do that.
I'm going to... the max aim that I can do is 2, right? Because my accuracy +1. So I'm
2.
going
Plus
to...
2.
Accuracy +2.
Accuracy.
Did you
plus-
move?
No, I haven't moved. So I am going to... So I have aim 1, aim 2.
Well, hold that thought. Just get set up. But Rogers is going to go first because he had the weight there.
Right.
Well,
doing weight
that
too?
was it, though. It was just a full move, so I'm done.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Never
So
mind.
Payne can go.
Carry on.
I'm going to continue to... Or I'm going to take... I guess, is it... Can you continue to aim and wait? Because I want him to get a little bit closer.
Okay. You had
I have
full aim.
2. Oh.
Plus accuracy 1.
So I have accuracy. So
That's
I have
3.
accuracy. I've got aim 2.
You've
and
also
a
got
brace.
braced because you were bracing, so that's
So I have a
plus 4.
+3.
All out.
Oh. So
You've also got all out possible.
all out. Why not?
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you got plenty.
I have no idea what his actual roll is going to
Now,
be.
he
He
would
could
be
be
able
rolling
to-
off a 9.
He would be able to see you, though, so he might actually get to dodge.
That's fine. So I'm gonna net +2. Oh, there we go. I'll take it.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. Then I need to... This anyway, that's 4.
No, the 3.
Doop.
Somebody targeted me on 4.
3.
I'm shooting at 3. The 3.
Oh, Rogers is over there. I keep getting you guys mixed up. Okay. You're that guy. Alright. Never mind that then. There? Holy God. Yeah, he dodged that.
I'm gonna luck it
I thought you might.
against him. And I'm taking the worst roll.
Hence my hesitation. You're probably going to want the critical failure then.
Yeah, I want his critical failure.
Because regardless, that means he's flat on his ass.
Alright, do your damage. Or do your hit location if you're doing that.
His legs.
Oh, that's... Ow.
He was an
Ow.
adventurer like you until he took a bullet to the knee.
I feel almost bad for this guy.
Man.
Oh.
Yeah, that knee's
ow,
gone.
ow, ow.
His... Who is that? 3?
Just
Half
lost
inch.
his leg from below his knee down.
Not even going to bother
half
with that.
inch, half inch lead ball to the knee.
Let's see. Oh, that was you? Roger. So you did your weight and you moved,
Yeah.
which technically you can't do. But I'm going to give
Oh.
it to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, my idea was to, when I heard a shot, to come out and charge at them. And so that's what I was doing, and that's what I was going to continue to do now.
Okay, I'm going to let that go since this is sort of an elongated move and attack.
Yeah, heroic charge this turn, it would be.
Right. Yeah, normally you can't convert a weight to a move.
Well, but the weight was for
Normally.
a heroic charge, which is up to 5.
Right, but you couldn't reach him.
Oh, so okay, I
But
see what you're saying.
Like I said, I'm going to let that go because this is sort of an elongated move and attack. So you are able to reach him and attack?
Yeah, with move of 5 heroic charge. Cost me a fatigue.
Let's see, who is that? That's 5. And he just got hit in the left arm.
Correct.
And was he using a pistol or a musket? You piecing that together?
Oh, no, I thought you were
No.
trying to
Yeah, go
determine
ahead.
what he had. Okay, gonna go for a thrust. No particular location.
Roger.
And I'm going to do a deceptive 1.
Little stutter
Because-
step in there.
Yeah, since he does have a gun, he could try to parry with it. So I'm going to do a little bit of deceptive.
Well, you know that one arm is all red, so it probably doesn't work too well. All right. He is going to do a retreating dodge.
Smart.
Because he doesn't have a whole lot else to do there.
He might include a girlish scream.
He may.
Set
He's
extra
considering
+1.
it.
Ah!
And he made it by 0.
Unfortunate. Next.
Wait a minute. No.
Oh.
No, that doesn't
Hey,
count.
Carrie, you could probably luck it, because I'm fairly certain it's been more than an hour since you used your luck.
Yeah, it has, but I'm not concerned about. I mean, I'm definitely going to kill this guy. So.
Fair enough.
So when you said he made it by 0, did you forget about the deceptive?
I did.
No. I'll roll damage then.
Location first, I guess. Or was that torso?
Yeah, I didn't pick a location, so it'll be
Okay,
random.
then do the torso location.
Wait, you mean like roll location?
Yeah, the chest.
Oh, right. The chest. Tables.
Okay, I see it.
The chest.
Yeah, well,
Normal.
it'll still hurt.
And I still
Probably
get a
a lot.
vitals roll, right?
That was it.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow. Still 5 impaling.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Okay, well, he's had enough. Where'd I go with that?
And I'll give him my best boarding scream. Ah!
So, is it Hayden's turn now?
It is.
Should be.
Do all these people still have aim on Hayden?
I suppose they do. They haven't gotten to go yet.
Then Hayden is taking all out defense still. He wants to draw their shots.
Understood.
I am actually going to have Article I'm thinking his combat hesitancy quirk is going to kick in here. So he's going to like basically freeze up for this round.
Very well.
Because, shooting, he's not accustomed to this stuff.
You will be.
Not while I have that quirk.
Alright, that means I get to shoot somebody. Let's see, are we doing pistol or musket with you? Musket it is. Who's that one? -5 plus 3.
Partial cover.
Partial cover. I'll give you at least half. I'll give you a 2 on that one. Yeah, this is going to be a sucky shot. Will he even take that? Yeah, he better. Somebody just died next to him. Where is that? Nope, there we are. Wow, well, he missed, but it kind of hit off to, it hit the tree. And now there's smoke over there. Let's see, that guy got hit with the blunderbuss. Let's see, he's probably done. He's done. He had a weapon trained on probably Rogers. But he won't have aimed.
He wouldn't have seen me until I started running, so.
Exactly. So that means he's going to be close range. This is going to be a pistol.
I think my speed of 5 will still count against him because I'm moving laterally.
Do you want that or you want the dodge?
Oh, it's either or?
Normally.
Oh, okay. Let me look at my dodge. My dodge is only 8, and a speed of 5 will give him a -2. Tough call. I guess I'll take the dodge.
Okay. Let's see.
Because
So
I can't retreat,
-1
but I
for
can
range.
luck it.
And
Oh, you know what? I can use my luck against his shot, though, can't I?
can't you? Yeah, I guess you can.
Okay, I'll take the -2 for my speed then, and just hope that he misses, and luck it if he doesn't.
Well, I guess that's legit. All right. So that puts him at -. He's gonna not have that. Well, that could be better. Here we go. And that will not work. He shot the air
Nice.
behind you.
What luck?
Indeed. And now his weapon is discharged. Let's see, this guy was stunned. He's going to try to snap out of that. And not do it. He's not getting back up. Alright. Davino, you have discharged your weapon.
Yep. And it looks like they have everything else on handle, so I'm just going to start reloading it.
Alright. Taking your time about it.
So we'll hear back from you after the combat.
I have faith in your abilities.
Randall?
Right. So Doug one shot. He's had his one.
Yes, he did fire. There is smoke in the area, so it'll be an extra. A bit of concealment for him.
Well, I still got some distance. So, I will have at you! And
Yarg.
Yarg charge him.
Are you being unnecessarily
Well, yeah. I'm charging straight
unnecessarily
forward.
reckless?
I would think that's what I'm doing.
Is that unnecessarily reckless, or do you actually have to do all out for that?
Oh, I can't all out towards him. I have to still cover the
He's
distance.
doing an all-out move here. The guy is
Yeah, that's true.
got a pistol. That's pretty
He's
dumb.
not actually attacking yet, so it doesn't matter if he does all out or not, or if he's doing Daredevil. Fair enough. With a mighty and manly roar. Turn. Rogers.
All right. Rogers is going to take a step towards thug number 4.
All right.
And he's going to point his cutlass, blood dripping from the blade, at thug 5, and look at thug 4 and say, "Yield, or you're next."
All right. Give
You
me an
forgot to add
intimidation roll.
"suh."
And I don't have intimidation, so I guess it'll just be like a personality thing.
Well, you'll roll the default and you'll get bonuses for being effective.
All right. I don't know what the default is, so I'll just
Will
roll
minus
straight
5.
Oh, okay. So depending on what the bonuses are, I probably did intimidate him.
Well, let's see.
I think you'll get +2.
Well, I think the dead friend and dripping bloody blade is worth at least 2.
Okay. You see the red in his eyes before sort of turns more yellow.
Hayden will survey the situation, and he'll move up to cover Randall should he get in trouble.
Well, he's definitely headed for trouble. Whose trouble it is another matter. Did you fire already?
Hayden has not fired.
Moved.
Following up.
Do we all get the little puff of cloud?
I only put it on there for him because it affected you directly at that time, but I don't want to clutter up the map with those. Not without full-on layer functionality. Alas. Okay. Well, the 2 guys right next to him just went down, and now he's being charged by 3 others. That sounds like nope territory to me.
He might turn around and just run away.
Yeah, agreed. This is not how I thought my evening was going to go.
You have one guy that's got his face blown off, the other guy who's in a really bad way, and now the guy standing in front of him with the sword is looking at him like, "You're a pathetic, weak thing that I will dispatch." And he seems very convincing. I think that sounds like nope territory to me. He will back away.
All right, I'm not going to chase him down.
Let's see, your buddy there that just is finally coming out of stun. He has a crippled arm though, and that makes that heavy-ass musket pretty much useless for him. And also, there's a sword right there in his face.
Oh yeah, I did just point it at him.
And it seems to have gotten larger somehow. Oh, that's just because of where it's located.
It's just perspective.
Yeah, damn that perspective.
All
Perspective of having been just stuck with it.
Well, it sounds like the combat outside is pretty much over.
Hayden
Well,
will
I'm gonna
move to
hurry
secure those that surrendered. Make sure that they've been disarmed, and then he'll call out to old Tom, and he'll say,
As you call out to old Tom, there's sort of a window-ish thing at that side of the hut, and it explodes with a blunderbuss sound and a shower of tree bits that doesn't actually go anywhere. You're not sure if that was just a reaction or not.
so it wasn't directed at anyone in particular. Hayden will look around and just check that everyone's still standing.
Just
No
enough
extra
to
holes
startle
here.
you for a second.
Well, Article is heading towards the nearest of the downed dudes and start doing doctory stuff.
All right, so we got 2 that have definitely run away. And the guy that got shot in the face is not dead, but he will be. The guy who got stabbed by Rogers is not dead.
Is he attempting to limp away, or is he being helped by the other guy who was with him?
No, they just left his ass behind.
Unfortunate.
And he decided he didn't feel like fighting you anymore. We got the other 2 on the other side that, let's see, who shot them?
What kind of pistols do these guys have?
Okay, as far as the weaponry goes, you can collect a handful of a couple of snap hunts and a couple of Queen Anne's pistols, and like three or four Buccaneer Fusil muskets.
Got to outfit
Fairly
the ship.
Cheap fare, not necessarily all that great, but they still function.
Well, I'm
With
just
a
going to
little
take one of the
maintenance.
Queen Anne's, so I actually have a pistol. That'll be for later.
And they've got horns of powder on them and ball and that sort of thing, so... Now, Hayden was yelling at old Tom before he got distracted by old Tom.
He'll hold his hands up. He'll holster his pistol and hold his hands up, and he'll say, "Old Tom, there is no need for that." Do we know what information do we have about old Tom? Do we know anything about him?
Nope. All you know
we
is
know
that
he was
he
an old pirate.
he used to run with Morgan's crew. And that's pretty much it. And knowing how long ago Morgan's crew was, he's pretty old.
So holding his hands up, he'll say, "Old Tom, we mean you no harm. We're just here for information."
Yeah, well, so were they.
And we just saved you.
By the looks of them, I suspect they were here for a little more than information.
Yeah. I don't think they were here to parlay. We would like to parlay.
Parlay, what are you, French?
I don't.
And it's like, do we sound French, sir?
What was the
And,
name of the guy that gave us old Tom's name?
Billy.
Billy sent us.
Oh man! Don't rat out your informant.
The
Snitches
the
get
front
stitches.
the front door to the hut explodes open, figuratively. And,
Okay, I was like, oh.
and a short old man with a blunderbuss flies out and starts pointing it at everybody at once.
That's really
What do you
impressive.
If anyone has their weapons out, Hayden will sort of gesture them to, lower their weapons.
I don't even know if I even pulled mine.
No, you did. You pointed it.
Well, I haven't
No,
cleaned my cutlass yet, so I'll lay it down and raise my hands.
Sir, we only mean to speak.
No, you want to know about Morgan's treasure.
That's exactly what we'd like to know. We're not going to, dance around the subject.
Well, shut off, all of you.
I'm sure there's some kind of arrangement we can make. We brought we brought rum.
What was that?
Did you say rum?
Hayden will sort of turn to Randall and sort of whisper quietly, "We did bring rum, right?"
I always bring rum. He's an old sailor. Of course I brought rum.
Of course we brought rum.
Aye, we have rum. Fine, come in.
I'm going to continue to work on the injured as they are.
What is the norm for that?
Do it.
What is the norm for treating hostiles?
Well,
injured
I have
in this
the
kind
code of honor
game?
physician, so I figure he's going to at least make the attempt.
Right.
They're like, F you,
Sound.
I'm running away.
Are
it's like,
you
all right.
asking what legal concerns you might have over the situation?
I guess.
Well, Hayden's a military man, so without thinking, he will say, "Davino, secure the prisoners while the doctor looks them over."
Boom, get to it. And Boom and I pop off and start tying them all up and such.
Boom's not very good at tying things up. And also,
He's
he
not,
didn't hear
but
you.
that's
He doesn't
true.
have that trick.
I said it for group's benefit.
Actually, now you do have the stats that I posted on there, so
I am going to
you know
completely
what
carry
tricks he
on
has.
a conversation with that monkey like he's talking back to me.
Can Boom reload a musket?
Not exactly.
That would be a cool trick to teach him later on when you have the points.
I suspect that's just a little bit more complex than he can pull off, but he can definitely help.
Yeah, that's helping makes sense. Being able to, like, while I'm doing, or
No,
Yeah, like
steps again.
reduce it by a few seconds.
I don't think anybody
By
else
handing
has
you stuff.
actually. I don't think anybody else has actually seen that yet, or been in a position to see it. But he's actually got a few tricks, some of which is like being able to bring slow match or roll up a cannonball or
Very
bring
cool.
the powder, that sort of thing. So he's a lot more helpful when he's running a gun.
So he's a literal powder monkey.
He is actually kind of a powder monkey. And he's also completely deaf.
It's all hand signals.
Hand signals and foot stamps and that sort of thing.
Neat.
Alright, so Davino is securing prisoners while Article is seeing to their medical conditions.
Yep.
The other three are going inside.
Yes.
And I'm going to presume at this point that Sir Randall is doing the talking.
Yep. I'm going to diplomize with him, fast talk or whatever, about his time as a seaman amongst Captain Morgan's crew.
He said seaman.
We're all 12.
Yes, I am.
Particularly digging for information about, well, where such things were.
Well, the way this kind of goes is you start trying to tease out that information while he's chugging on the rum and not sharing any. And he just stops you dead in your tracks and says, "What do you know?"
And I spill the beans. I tell him what I know.
So, if I recall correctly, the only thing that you know is you know that there are coins that lead to the treasury.
Correct.
And you know that there's one in Port Royal, which is said to be buried with him in Morgan's grave, which is now sunk with the rest of Port Royal. And people have been digging around here for years trying to find the damn thing, and nobody's been able to find it.
Right.
Of course, that is very difficult. So, first, old Tom tells you don't know shit. And then he tells you the coin isn't buried with him in the grave. It's at his governor's mansion under the mantle. And then he gives you precise landmarks on how to locate the governor's mansion where the mantelpiece should be.
So from old Tom, I have precise directions to Morgan's coin in his...
Where's this governor's mansion? What city is it at?
It's in Port Royal.
Ah.
It's underwater. It's just not the graveyard.
Boy.
Now, he will
How many of
also
us can swim?
he will then ask you if you know what to do with it, and of course you will answer no. And he will first tell you you're a moron, and then tell you what to do with it.
I don't know. I kind of like this dude.
He tells you that the coin, you take the coin to one of Morgan's old harbors that he used to use around Ile of Vache, and there's a house there that's abandoned, and in the chimney on the inside there's a brick marked with the carving of a reaper, and the coin fits in a slot there, and when you put it in, it will give you a compass that will lead you to the treasury.
Wow, this sounds really complicated. It's like a J.J. Abrams movie.
Maybe
There's
a little.
MacGuffin to find another MacGuffin that'll take you to another MacGuffin that'll take you to a map. But you need another MacGuffin to read the map.
So the coin I take to Morgan's old harbor in Ile of Vache, into his old house, place the chimney. There's a brick marked with a reaper. Place the coin in this spot, and I will to retrieve the compass to the treasure.
Now, you will recognize Ile of Vache from the old tales about Captain Morgan. It is a fairly small island off the southern coast of Hispaniola that he used to use as a rally point when he couldn't actually stay in Port Royal because they were being persnickety about pirates. There was also an incident there where the Oxford blew up while they were having a meeting. That's a whole nother story.
Oxford's a ship?
Yeah, it was his flagship at the time. The belief is that there was a spark in the powder magazine, and a bunch of them just died right out. A bunch of them got ejected out of the back of the gallery.
Cool. I now have there's a note. I'm keeping notes.
All right, and let's see. At that,
The house blows up. No, the old man melts.
Everybody inside can give me a perception check.
Hayden has been observing. Since this guy was an ex-pirate, it is just Hayden's instinct to, find any sort of detail he can about this guy. He'll be looking for trophies that have been taken, whatever. Anything of interest.
There are a couple of things that you're going to look around and you're going to see little paraphernalia that definitely this guy is a sailor. So there's no doubt about that. There's also an oar, a single oar, standing in the corner, which makes you think of that old thing about the sailor who wants to retire and he puts an oar over his shoulder and walks inland until somebody asks him what it is.
Nice.
Have you not heard that one?
No, but I like it.
Yeah.
Apparently that goes back to ancient Greece. I didn't realize.
He didn't get very far then.
Clearly he didn't get all that far. He just got to a point where there was nobody around, apparently, and just decided to build himself some kind of shack thing. Which clearly looks like a sailor just decided to build himself some kind of shack thing. It's not exactly expert quality. But it keeps the rain off. At which point he will react to something at the same time that Randall reacts to the sound of something sort of crunching on the roof.
That's totally the monkey.
It's a bit heavier than a monkey.
He's been eating a lot.
Stand behind us, old man. What is on your roof?
Well, the old man doesn't wait for you to do anything. He goes right for that blunderbuss and points it at the roof.
I have my sword drawn, and I'm like, "What's on the roof, old man?" I say that loud enough that anyone nearby might hear us shouting inside the house.
You hear what
sounds.
You hear what sounds definitely like somebody jumping down from above and running across the roof.
Huh? What?
In the meantime, Article is
running towards the
focused on
front or
his
the back
duties. Article and Davino are focused on their duties. They hear a bit of a scuffle and see some guy jumping down off the roof like a friggin' monkey and bolting toward the tree line.
I gesture to a Boom to get his face.
I now know what's going on.
That's right, Mark.
What's
That's
on
right. You need to rush out of the building, grabbing pistols and shooting the masked person.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
The direction that the sounds are running across the roof, is it towards the front door or towards the north, south, what?
Kind of, you would say, probably the same direction you came from?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm going to run out the door and try to get a look.
Hayden, we must go. We must gather the crew and get going. We can't let Bonsignon get ahead of us.
So, those of you that were inside the hut emerge from the front door onto the steps there to see assholes and elbows go and just disappear into the jungle. It's not assholes and elbows that you recognize. The old man fires the blunderbuss in his general direction, but you're pretty sure that wasn't even close to where that guy was.
And he's completely out of sight?
Davino and Article were outside to see that, so they could have reacted.
Well,
Yeah,
I was in the
told Boom to
process,
chase him.
so I was in the process of probably treating the dude, so I'm like, wait, what? Huh?
So Davino is given chase?
Davino's not, Boom is.
The monkey's not going to do nothing. You have to chase
a
the
monkey on
too.
your face? A monkey on your face will do things.
Establish dominance. Establish dominance.
You're not gonna like it when they shoot your monkey.
Boom's
We're
agile.
still talking about the game.
I have faith in Boom.
You're fairly certain that although Boom is fairly large for a capuchin monkey, he's not big enough to stop a grown human.
Well, I tried.
No, you didn't. I said you
So-
do it, monkey.
So Davino yells at Boom and points at that guy and says, "Get him!" And Boom just looks at him like, "What?"
Bruh.
Hayden will turn
Goes in
to.
that direction and picks something up and brings it back to him.
No, that's it. Boom bolts in the same direction that guy's going, and then a couple of minutes later, he comes bolting back, and he's got a snake.
Let's just start waving. No, throw it back in the forest. And...
Asps. Very dangerous.
Hayden will turn to old Tom and he'll say, "What would you like us to do with these?" And he'll point to the prisoners.
I don't know. Shoot them. Just don't leave them here.
Since Randall has mentioned that it's your rival, is it not? Boss, what was his name? Bossnard?
Bossnard.
It's a rival?
Yes.
That is his rival. No, he wasn't. He didn't
Wasn't
specifically say that
Bossnard,
about the
but it
thugs,
was-
though.
I don't.
No,
think
you
that
didn't
was
recognize that guy.
No,
So
but I'm gonna guess that it's Bonsanad doing his, trying to get to Morgan's treasure before me, before us.
Randall
Seems
totally
we have
needs
a
delusion.
race.
Randall totally needs to have a delusion that every bad thing that happens to him is because of that guy.
It's true.
What's Article's surname?
Spencer.
Mr. Spencer, can we move these men?
Well, not this fellow. And it's the guy who's lost the ear and the face, and
The one that's dying.
I'm afraid there's not a lot I can do for this.
Then we will escort the other away from Tom's place.
note about legalities here. There really is no police. And right now, the island isn't under any sort of martial law or anything, so it's kind of up to whoever is the plaintiff in a situation as to what gets done about it.
Is there a governor or anything like that?
Oh yeah, there's a governor.
Honor system.
There's a magistrate. You can go to the magistrate and complain about something, but you'll have to bring your own evidence and all that.
And your own suspects.
And your own suspects.
Well, Hayden's going to suggest that we move these fellas. The one that's dying, we put him out of his misery. Hayden will say, we shall end his suffering, if you cannot help him, Doctor.
Let's see. Yeah, that would be really, 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 really tough, wouldn't it?
Did this particular individual attempt to kill someone?
Which one?
The one that Hayden is indicating.
The guy without a face?
He was the one that was shot by Davino.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance to discharge his weapon.
Yeah, so no. Rogers won't have a part of that. If someone was an aggressor, he'll do it.
They were all.
Now,
Gosh, they're all aggressors.
To be fair, there were at least two of them that ran. It's possible they could come back.
To be fair, yeah, and that's why Rogers didn't chase the ones that ran, because he's just not that way. He's as bloodthirsty as the next guy, unless somebody's not trying to fight.
Is the guy that lost his face, is he unconscious?
Yes.
Okay, so then there's no need to actually end his suffering. He's just going to die naturally.
I suspect I'm going to at least do what I can, but based off what the GM said, yeah, this guy's going to die.
Doctor
Couple
say
drops
you
of
gonna
laudanum.
die.
It's unlikely he'll last the night.
Well, out of respect for old
He's in the
Tom, we should.
negatives.
Out of respect for old Tom, we shall move these men from Tom's home,
Property.
and we will leave the body of. Oh, we'll remove them all, take them away, and then we'll leave them there for their buddies to come pick them up.
Agreed.
But we'll take them away from Tom's place.
What's his hit point threshold like at, Daniel?
He was negative, but not. Well, actually, no. You got hit that fit. Well, okay. That
No, he'd
was...
be death rolls. He got hit 15.
Yeah, he was
Plus.
I think he went into the death roll, but he did not fail it.
He should have taken 30 points of damage.
There's blow through.
I don't think there's blow through on the head, though.
As far as I know, there is, because it was a face hit. It wasn't a brain hit.
No, but on the head, I don't think there's blow through.
Well, it's not that important at this point. He's
Well, I
so
was just
screwed up
wondering,
that you're not going to be able to fix it, is the problem. So
Either way, we'll just take them away from this place, and once the doctor thinks they're stabilized enough, he can leave them and they can either make their way back or hopefully their friends come and pick them up.
Oh, we don't have a lot of time.
We're not going to waste time.
Yeah, because if I spent 4 hours in surgery right now, I would have an effective. I gotta do math. An effective skill of 6.
yeah,
I'm definitely not going to advocate us spending any of that kind of time with these guys.
No, it'll just be stabilize them.
Put a bandage on and let them figure it out amongst themselves.
yeah. Two of them that surrendered were still conscious, so they can be told to do something.
Well, then the first thing they'll be told to do is pick up the body of their faceless friend.
So have we questioned them at all?
Well,
No one has
nobody said
questioned them
anything.
yet.
Good idea.
I didn't question. Them. I didn't think of it.
So
I don't think like that.
what brings you guys here? Why were you approaching this cabin? Did someone send you? Did someone hire you? What are you about?
Well, let's see. What is their loyalty?
Considering 2 of them ran off, I imagine it's not huge.
Well, there's dying right now and there's dying later.
Truth.
Let me see what that equates to. I always put in the wrong page number. La la la.
Speak English?
And I can go through Dutch, French, Greek, Irish Gaelic, Latin, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Venetian, Yiddish.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But
I'm presuming they're going to speak one of those.
Since I only
Okay.
speak English and I'm the one who's talking to them, I'm asking them if they speak English.
First off, they do speak English. They are English. Second off,
okay.
let's see, they're injured enough that they can't just run off. So they're kind of in a bind here. And you guys have been talking about potentially ending someone's suffering.
I haven't.
Well,
I've been arguing against it.
Some of you have discussed that.
And I, the one who is questioning them, has specifically said that I'll have no part of that. So I'm kind of on their side in a way.
I'm gonna say they feel like they're in a bit of a rock and a hard place, so they will say that they were hired to come kill the old man.
Who hired you to do that?
The guy at the docks.
Oh darn! I was thinking you
which guy?
You wanted a awesome cliffhanger that they should have pointed right at Randall and said, "Him! He hired us to kill the
that
old
would
man."
have been funny. This isn't Consops.
Oh, dang.
The guy at the docks, they don't know him. Or they say they don't know his name.
Well, is he a local or is he off that Dutch ship? Is he an Englishman?
They don't know. The impression you get from them is they're not locals. Like, there's a lot of turnover in this port.
Sure.
So it's probable that somebody grabbed them off the street and said, "Here's some money, go kill that guy," and they said, "Okay."
Did they see the guy run off?
No. Most of them were screaming in agony.
How many of you were there?
Just the 6 of them.
So the one that ran off was an extra.
So listen, if we were to take you back into Kingston,
we don't
could
have
you
time
show us
to take these guys back.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to advocate that we are not taking these guys back. I have no dice with criminals and thugs that attempt to murder some old man. They can stay here and hope that their friend comes back and helps them out, but I will not be carrying these scum back to, Kings Bay.
Well, I think
Anywho, back to my question.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, if we were to take you back to Kingston, do you think that you could point this fellow out to us who hired you? Or to me? Could you point him out to me? I won't say us, since Haydn is clearly vocally against it.
He would say sure.
My intent
What's your
is
name,
that
son?
we return and not spend much time in Kingston when we do return. Please keep that in mind, sir.
Agreed, Commander. I just want to get to the bottom of what's happening here, and I don't think that my investigation will delay us at all.
Hayden will sort of kneel down in front of one of the injured guys, and he will look at them and say, "If we were to escort you away from old Tom's place here and leave you, what would your next actions be?" And his expression will turn very serious, and he'll say, "Your answer is very important."
Get on the next boat going somewhere not here.
Smart.
He will just nod and then stand. Randall, I suggest we begin to move.
With haste.
All right. So it sounds like you are not escorting anyone back.
We will escort them away from the place, and then leave them.
Yep. And I wanted to know more, but I don't mind being overruled. It's cool.
Well, I'm sure you can make up for it. Somebody roll. Who's next? I think it's going to be Hayden rolls the reaction for the trip back. And apparently not a whole lot's going to go on.
The monkey keeps grabbing snakes and offering them to Davino.
Please don't. Rogers
And they're
is afraid of
different
snakes.
snakes.
At one point, you see Article start a bit, as apparently there's a bird over there that has told him in Greek to not trust them.
And he's going to respond in Greek to the bird. Trust who? Luckily, nobody has any idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, when the monkey comes back with the snake, and Rogers is a little annoyed. It is dead, at least.
Stupid birds. They never tell you what you want them to tell you.
All right, it is well and truly dark by the time you get back.
Oh, we
Although
also
And the city's on fire.
we confiscated their
forces
weapons and powder.
Right. You won't have carried all that back with you because that's a lot of crap, but
Well, it wasn't that much.
that was 6 people's worth of multiple firearms.
We have 5 of us.
Yeah, I guess you could do it.
Leave one of the people's stuff to the old man. So he has a new pistol and
you
a
could
new
leave
gun,
him
new
some
rifle.
stuff.
I will definitely take a pistol, powder, shot, whatever is available off the, what was it, Thug 6, the one that died.
Yeah, I took one
I'll,
of the Queen Anne pistols, I think you said they had.
I'll get you guys some more specifics on those later.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, I hope our boat's not on fire when we come into town.
It's not a boat, it's a ship.
As
I'm
you
not a
guys
Navy guy.
As you guys return to Kingston, you are making your way back to whatever midpoint you guys like to split off at. Assuming you're going to split off.
Is the Dutchman still in port?
Yes, it is.
Probably still unloading.
I can almost see Randall wanting us to say,
Yeah,
all right, everybody
Let's get
cram onto
yeah.
the boats and, well, actually you can't. It's not like you can just set sail. You have
Right,
to
but
go with the tides.
right. Prepare the ship, for immediate departure. Destination?
Unknown.
No. Port Royal.
Well, yeah, Port Royal. You're at Port Royal.
So it's a short
Right.
trip.
Well, it's a short trip, but we need to get to. Actually, do we have any maps of Port Royal?
Let me remind
He
you
gave
what
us
that looks
directions
like.
to how to get to the mantle, but did he give us directions how to get to the mansion?
Let me explain that. Okay. Once you get this map, you will see the green pen. That is where Kingston
Yes.
is. That is where you are.
I know
That
this.
is Port Royal.
Right.
Is the scale accurate?
Yeah. And since you asked about Port Royal
Oh,
itself,
We don't need the ships. We just need to go over there. We need rowboats.
Oh. That is a cool map. The sunken one.
It is pretty cool.
now the buildings that are on the part that's not submerged are not still there. They're all screwed. Well, actually, that's not true. Some of them have been rebuilt and then rebuilt again after they got destroyed again, etc.
What's the status of the fort then?
The fort's still there, and the fort is actually the headquarters of Jamaica Command. It's basically the English Navy's headquarters in the Caribbean.
Damn.
So still fairly active.
Very cool.
But it basically sounds like we just need rowboats, not actual.
Yeah, you might
ships.
actually be able to walk over there, but yeah, probably rowboats at least.
It would take a longboat. Yeah.
At any rate, so if you're going to go diving for that coin, you're just going across the street, basically.
So I
But
suspect
as
it'd be
Payne
more
is
of
indicating, he wants to get on with it.
yeah, it's probably going to be a gather the thing, maybe make your way to wherever it's still land, like here-ish, wait until the sun comes up.
We should probably take
And the tide goes out.
take the ship and anchor it just in case we need to go somewhere else fast.
Yeah. Well, and my intent would be is once we get that coin, we need to get to Elavash as quick as possible.
So
Hey, I'm going to be, I need to take a quick break and then wrap this up.
Okay.
Well, we can continue to argue. We're going to continue to argue while you're taking your brief whatever.
I'm going to stay during the break because I have an idea. If anybody is interested.
I'm here.
I suggest... Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, I think we should take the ship. No other reason than by having the ship, we are ready to do something afterwards.
Yeah, that makes sense. My idea is just related to recovering the coin. I was thinking that we could figure out who among the crew are the strongest swimmers and offer them an award or a monetary reward or a privilege reward or a rum ration reward or all of the above for whoever finds it.
I'm down. That's
Not
not
a terrible
bad plan.
idea.
Because I know some of us can't swim. I can, but I'm only at a 12. But we probably have crew members who are excellent swimmers. And some who can't swim at all.
Yeah, I've got a 12 myself.
15 for me.
Oh,
Hayden
no,
has a
we'll
12,
just
but-
let him do it.
Hayden,
We'll just let
That's-
Davino do it.
Yeah. Scratch that. Davino, get the coin.
It's one of those, it's like he hears, rum ration? I got this, guys.
Yep. Hold out until it's good before
It's
I
all
make,
my rum, damn it.
play my card.
Yeah, I agree. I had no idea we had such a strong swimmer in the party.
Yeah, I figured they were all going to be like mine, whereas like 12 or maybe
They're
even
barely, or
lower
none.
or none. 15, wow.
That's like an Olympic swimmer.
so the plan is sail the ship over, anchor off Port Royal, send a longboat with Davino
Well,
to go scuba.
The issue with just saying sail the ship over is you're reliant on the tides.
Well, we could actually tow the ship. If the tides are not good, we could tow the ship.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know where they normally dock the ship stuff. But
Well,
yeah,
they normally
that sounds
just
fine to
anchor.
me.
They don't really dock as much as just anchor in the harbor and then carry stuff back and forth on boats.
I don't know if that's entirely true in this kind of stuff, is it? I figure they have some place you
a
come
lot
up
of
there
places, yeah. Not sure about Kingston, but it's quite common to have the ships only come so close, and then everything's carried back and forth.
It's quite a deep port.
Yeah, it might be deep enough to actually dock.
Well, Kingston seems to be quite a deep port, if I read the numbers right.
Is that in fathoms?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I can't do any of that stuff.
It looks like 4 fathoms, so that's what, 8 meters. So it's quite deep.
Yeah, 8 yards, about the same
Right.
as 8 meters.
Back.
Slacker, we won the
But
game while you were
Did
gone.
you decide anything useful
24
to me?
feet.
Yeah, we decided we won the game. It was pretty awesome.
What we talked about was taking the ship over towards Port Royal, anchoring, and taking a longboat with our strongest swimmer, which is Davino, over to the location we think the coin is and having him dive for it.
Okay, so to establish a couple of points that you should be aware of, you just launched the boat yesterday, and it has not been provisioned, and you haven't gathered the crew up yet, although a lot of your recruiting has already occurred. Now you just got to go fetch them all and get them on board and sign the articles and do all that crap. So there's stuff you have to do before the voyage can actually start. Plus, up until this point, you hadn't actually decided where you're going.
Well, to be fair, we
So-
also don't know that yet.
And you still don't know that.
To be fair, actually, that being the case, I would suggest that since Davino and the longboat are only 2 miles from Port Royal now, they could just be rowed out there and he could dive for the coin while everybody else is getting the ship ready to go.
But, so, or rather, not but so. So, having said all that, tonight, what are you going to just split off, or are you going to be a little more paranoid than that?
Well, if Randall's paranoia infects us, we should probably take the boat over there-ish and sleep until it comes up, and then go for the coin once the sun comes up.
Well, it is dark.
What's
Yeah, that's why
Roger's navigation ability?
Now, you guys are pretty good navigators, but and you've been at this port for 6 months, so you're reasonably familiar with the lay of the place. But it's definitely not something you want to be doing at night.
Okay, then maybe just be prepared to head out at even before first light.
Basically, row, everyone, at the whatever rowboat, and then the second the light starts to peak, you start rowing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you could
Well-
sleep on the ship or something like that. That'd be perfectly fine. And that's more what I'm getting at is whether or not you guys are going to be together or are you going to separate and then meet up in the morning.
Well, for speed, I'm perfectly fine sleeping on the boat.
Boat or ship?
Sorry, ship.
Technically.
I need to get accustomed to it anyway.
How long will it take us to prepare the ship to sail? To provision, gather the crew and stuff?
Getting provisioned is going to take all day.
Rogers will volunteer to handle that.
And I will
The provisions and the crew.
And I will volunteer to go with Davino for sure. There's treasure to be had down there.
You don't know what else you could find.
Exactly. There's all kinds of fun stuff.
Okay. So are you sleeping on the ship together? I would like a better way to ask that question.
Well,
Are you all going
we
to
in
the
the
ship
Navy?
and sleeping there?
Yes, I think that's probably the best, so we can coordinate and be ready to go at first light.
Okay.
Or probably before first light. If Rogers is Actually, Rogers, you wanted to stay behind and provision the ship.
Well,
I wanted to,
we'll
rouse
sort
the
that
crew out of all the whorehouses and stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to do there, so we'll be sorting that out when we get to it. But for now, you guys are all headed together to the ship, and as you do so, you pass by a bar. Happens to be one of the taverns where you would meet Billy, and you notice a bit of a crowd gathered around outside. And as you rubberneck over there, you see that there's been a murder. Somebody dead in the alley, apparently.
And it's
Billy,
Mark's
'cause you
character.
ratted him out.
And as you will no doubt want to know what has happened, it is in fact Billy.
I knew it. You gave up your informant.
Cut to black. Roll credits. Cue the music.
I told you. Dang it.
The only person that heard that was old Tom.
And the guy
Oh.
on the roof.
The guy on the roof, doofus.
Good point.
We're gonna totally discover that was Ash's character who's on the roof.
Why would she have Billy murdered?
You've talked to her, right? I think Ethan
Yes.
can agree that she might have Billy murdered.
No.
No, I don't really think so.
All right. So post-game bookkeeping. Everybody gets 1 point. And let's see. I think I have decided I am at least going to make all the map rolls for you offline, so we don't have to deal with that because that's going to be a lot of work.
All the what rolls?
Sounds good.
Map related, your treasure map
Oh.
related stuff.
I would like to spend my 1 point on cartography, which is a skill I should have picked up at character generation but forgot.
So retro, that's fine. I am going to honor the grace period, so if you need to make some adjustments, let me know what you're doing. I don't know that anybody mentioned anything they needed to change, though. I have a secret roll already from Article. I need one from, well, Claude's not here. Davino, I need an enemy roll. And Pain, I don't need a roll because your enemy's here.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
So just Davino. And I meant to tell you to put that in the box.
Oh, sorry. I could do another one if you'd like.
But now you know it's not going to happen this time.
What are you talking about? That didn't happen. Make him roll it in the box. Might happen.
Okay, roll it in the box.
Mark, use your luck.
Nice.
I don't think that counts.
And if that doesn't work, then Kerry, use your luck.
That would be really funny, though. It's like,
Doesn't affect
I'm
me.
going to luck it.
What, his enemy turning up doesn't affect you?
No. Why would it?
Indirectly.
All right, let's see. So I am going to get you an accounting of the recovered weaponry and miscellaneous other gear, and you guys can decide what you took with you or not, and
I'm
leave
gonna-
the rest for old Tom.
With that in mind, I'm going to sort of presume that either Randall or Hayden is probably going to have noted that Hargle's not carrying a pistol of any sort. So that's going to be one of the first, like, you need to carry this when we're running around.
And I guess that's it.
Yeah, I'm looking through my
That was
skills
fun.
to see if there was anything stands
Yeah,
out that I should have had.
We're just getting started, really.
I didn't expect. I expected some like supernatural stuff to show up eventually. I didn't think it would show up in the first session.
Yeah, me neither.
What are you talking about? Nothing supernatural happened.
Was that really supernatural? Did anything
Oh,
really happen?
Just talk with a crazy person.
Rogers had a gut feeling. You know,
Well, you know.
that's as supernatural as anything ever is.
The bird was talking to me.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
that's not really
you may not
supernatural
have
either.
heard that.
All right, well, if you're
Cool
watching
beans.
this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Thank you
I
for
was
watching.
gonna say- I thought you were. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Thank you for. You guys are going to start doing this to me all the time.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Olympus.